In today's episode of Pen to Pen Podcast, we sit down with the lovely and talented Tekeila Vaughn. She hails from my home state of Florida, and after serving a 4-year bid, she left her hometown of Gainesville in search for a new start in Atlanta, Georgia. Her ambition and drive, coupled with the vast opportunities in Atlanta, set her on a path to redemption and establishing herself across multiple fields. We will top it up with the first ever female guest and hear how success was the only option she was taking. Let's get it. All right. Welcome everyone to Pen to Pen Podcast. I have today with me Tekeila Vaughn, right, from Gainesville, Florida, right? Beautiful Tekeila Vaughn. Um, I like to start out, Pen to Pen Podcast is about interviewing people who have been incarcerated, whom have gotten out and became successful in whatever field they're in. So I appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you.
I like to start with tell the people a little bit about yourself prior. Of course, everybody knows that you've been incarcerated, that you're on this podcast. Tell the people a little bit about yourself prior to incarceration, what was going on in your life. What was going on in your life?
All right. Prior to incarceration, I was working in the medical field and also going to school. I've always had like a passion for acting and modeling and so forth. So my mom used to have me like in little pageants here and there growing up. But other than that, I was just working like at a group home and going to school to become a cosmetologist.
Okay, so some people are going down a bad path prior to incarceration, right? Mm-hmm. Were you headed that? Do you think you was headed down a bad path, or did you come from a two-parent home or whatnot?
I don't think I was headed down a bad path. I did come from a two-parent household. Both my mom and father are married. They've been together about 40 years.
Oh, that's a salute to them, right? Yes. Salute. Okay.
I didn't grow up, with a house and a picket fence or anything like that. I did grow up in what they would call the projects, low-income housing. But one thing my mom did instill in us when we were younger, I remember she would always say, "It's not where you live, but how you live."
Yes.
And I always live by that.
Okay. Okay. So were you moving in a way of? Did you go to college?
Yes.
You did.
I went to college right after I had my daughter. A few months after graduation. And then that January, I had her in October. That January, I was in school. I was in a nursing. Well, I was going to school to become a nurse, but I had received a few certifications here and there, CNA, medical assistant, and kind of just stopped and just became like that mother to provide for the child. So I kind of put my education on hold and got a decent job and was just pretty much working. Then I started going back to school, and about a week or two before my probation ended, that's when I caught like a sworn complaint. Is what kind of ended my probation, and 3 years of probation, and like a week before my probation was about to be over, I got arrested or violated my probation on a sworn complaint.
Okay. So let's get to the meat of things. Were you the situation that do you mind? Some people don't like to share their situation that led to them to being incarcerated. You don't have to go into detail about it. You can just tell the offense if you want to, and if you don't want to, that's cool, right? So do you mind disclosing to people the offense that you
led to your incarceration? No names or anything, but my original charge that sent me to prison was an aggravated battery, great bodily harm charge. From 2006, I did not go to prison until 2010. I was placed on a 3-year probation. My probation stipulations were so strict that if I got a parking ticket, that would violate my probation. Okay. So I didn't have to get any type of new charges or anything to violate my probation. It was one of those things when I felt like when I was on probation, other people kind of had like the upper hand, especially if they knew I was on probation. Like you can do anything or say anything if you don't like me, for instance, or if me and you talking and the relationship isn't going whatever, you can call the police and say that I did anything, and I'm gonna go to jail.
Right.
Because that did happen.
Yeah.
And I sat down for about 2 months for something like that, and then my probation got reinstated. Um, but it's just the simple fact that no, I didn't do anything, but somebody can play with my life if they want to,
Right.
and that make you want to like, I wish I would have did something. You know, if I'm gonna go, I should have done something. But no matter like how good you try to live, there's people out there that don't want to see you doing good.
Yeah, you do find yourself in these situations where people can understand that they can play with you.
Yeah.
And overall affect your livelihood because they know you're in a situation. And sometimes it's like almost like sleeping with the enemy or at least being around them, right? So
yes.
I clearly understand what you're talking about there. How was incarceration? How long were you incarcerated?
I was sentenced to the minimum mandatory. That was looking at 15 years. I didn't accept any of the offers they were offering me. I did let the judge sentence me, and she sentenced me to the minimum mandatory of the 4.5 years. And of those 4.5, I did 3 years and about 8 months.
Okay, while you was incarcerated, did you have a turn to any epiphanies, any the things that kind of awakened you in regards to it, or what?
Like what? Like,
that's currently got you on the path right now, like.
I was locked up. I mean, I was in prison physically, but mentally, my mind state was outside the gates. Like I did not think like I was in prison. It would be. I felt like I didn't come here to work.
While in prison.
While in prison.
Okay.
I just come here to do my time, and that's it. They had me like working in the kitchen. I would go in and sit down, wander around, and do whatever I wanted to do.
You were essentially bucking the system on it, right?
Like my mindset was like, I didn't come here to work for free. Or 10 days is what they gave you a month or whatnot.
Right.
If you gain time. Because in Florida you have to do 85% of your time.
Right.
So I would go in, it'd be the staff like, bro, you so stuck up, you know. And I used to play the system. So if it was something I didn't want to do, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm declaring a psych emergency.
Right.
And they'll cuff me, take me down to psych or whatever.
Right.
And I'll just play them like I didn't come here to work. I come here just to do my time, do me, and have visitation and go home.
Right. Where were you incarcerated at?
And I went to a few camps. Lowell Correctional Institution in Ocala. That was the first stop. Then I went to their work camp. And the staff hated on us, some of us so bad. Then I went to Levy work camp, and that was like a concentration camp. I knew that I had a
concentration camp.
Yes, I knew that I had a warrant for my arrest on the sworn complaint that I had to go handle back in Gainesville.
Right.
So I probably lasted at Levy maybe 30 days. And me and my best friend, we both were there at the same time, and we were just miserable. And I'm like, I'm getting out of here. Like, I'm about to leave here. So before I went out, they had us working at a recycling place, like landfill. And there was this one officer, she was asking people like what they did. And, you know, like I had a violent charge, and it was like, oh, well, you know, it's like they would try to provoke you.
Right.
Oh, if, just know that I hit that. I'm like, girl, no one's worried about you. Like, you just reading a charge. You don't even know what happened.
Right.
Know? But anywho, I was like, I'm not finna work in no trash. Yeah. You know, I was leaving out one morning. I already had the request in my hand the night before. I had wrote it out on myself and everything. And I was like, because at a work camp, you can't have any warrants or anything.
Right.
Because you go outside the gates.
So you reported yourself?
Yeah, I dropped that paper right in the little request box on my way out to the bus. And I just knew that was going to be my last day.
Yeah.
And so I did a little to no work that day when we went out to the landfill. And I got back, they was waiting on me. I was ready.
It's too funny.
I was ready to go. I'm like, oh, okay, yes.
Wow, that is crazy. So while you was in there, what else did you get involved in? Like, was it some type of books you read?
I read a lot of the urban books, but after so many urban books, they just all sound the same.
Facts.
So I started reading a lot of James Patterson. I actually just went and picked up about 4 of his books yesterday.
Okay.
James Patterson and John Grisham.
Okay.
I like their books. I read the Twilight series while I was in there, and while I was in, since I read the books, I had to see the movies when I came home.
True.
So I watched all of the movies as well. I don't know who the author is of those, so I apologize about that. But I did read all of those books. But James Patterson did become one of my favorite authors.
Okay.
That's far.
So when were you released?
I was released November 3rd, 2010. No, 2013, I'm sorry. I went in 2010, November the 3rd, 2013. Okay. So this will be my 10-year anniversary.
Oh, yeah, we're running close. We're running together then, because I'm at 10 years as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm at 10 years as well. Salute. Yes. Salute. That's what I'm talking about. It feels good. I can't say that, I did a lot more time than you did, but it definitely feels good. And it feels good to be on the path of, trying to succeed and become successful in the fields that we're operating in. Once you got out, what did you do?
My last about 15, 17 months, I was in a work release.
Okay.
A private facility down in St. Pete. It was a Goodwill work release center. It was private. So I didn't leave like broke or anything like that. I had a few thousands in my account when I came home. Mm-hmm. So I probably took a week break.
But was that still incarceration for you?
It was.
It was, right? Even though you was kind of out.
In, 1 foot out, you still had to go back there and sleep. But I probably used to go to work almost every day. I had like 2 or 3 jobs going there. And then about my last 30, 45 days, it was a male inmate had did something to a female. And then we had to get the ankle. We were like the first ones to get ankle monitors in prison work release in Florida. So we had to wear ankle monitors. Like my last 30, 45 days there. But other than that, and things like change, whereas if you had more than one job, you can just leave, call the center and say, hey, I'm headed to my next job, and then call when you get there. Some things had changed where we had to come back to the center, check in, and then literally check back out, and then go to your next job.
Okay. So what was life after incarceration, totally after incarceration for you? Did you go back to Gainesville? We're in Atlanta right now.
Mm-hmm. So I went back to Gainesville for from November to about September. I didn't last a year. That Florida period wasn't for me at all. When I got out, I took a week off, did some things with my daughter, took her places and stuff, and then boom, working. Got a job. And it was one of those things whereas, who's this girl? She just popped up out of nowhere. I like, people that I grew up with, they knew me, but it was some people who I was working with didn't know who I was. Right. And did a little research for whatever reason, and went and told that, she has a background or whatever.
Really?
But my thing is, if I have the job, and if they didn't do a background check on me, why is it your business?
Yeah.
So it was little things like that, here we go. let the hate begin. And
Right.
I worked there for like 6 months
Okay.
before anyone found out anything. And the GM, she was so cool. She was just like, it's kind of out of my hands because someone went over her head and when they told that I had a background. Because I started out as a housekeeper at a hotel.
Right.
But by my 3rd month, I was at the front desk.
Okay.
So I went from housekeeping to laundry to the front desk. So clearly they see something in me.
Right.
So you've been here all this time just as a housekeeper, but you mad at me.
Wow.
You got to apply yourself. So
So you got to apply yourself.
Right. You got to want more. So
Right.
I guess my progression there caused a little hate from other staff members. And like I said, the gym, she had my back. She was like, if there's anything you need, just like let me know. It worked for me. I was able to collect my unemployment and everything. So I moved here in like September. No plan, no plan in sight, no nothing, no job, no nothing, just an unemployment check.
Right.
So I had a god sister who lived here, and she was like, "Come here, it's so easy. I get a job." Blah blah blah. So I just came here, and I wasn't used to like living with anyone or anything like that. And I came, and like again within that first week, I had a job. That first month, I had 2 jobs. So I've just been working ever since then. I've never been without since I've been here. And that's what I tell people like all the time. I feel like with a background, I have to work 10 times as hard as someone without a background. And there's people around here with a clean background, no job, no money, no nothing. Like, what you got going on? And it's me around here have to like work so hard and like fast and pray and for jobs and stuff,
Yeah.
But I was going to a church when I lived down in Palmetto when I first moved here. I got my place down in Palmetto, and I was going to this church, and this pastor, I told him my story, but I never like went around telling my story to nobody because I didn't want anyone to feel bad for me. Because one thing I was going to do was go out there and do what I had to do to get what I needed to get, make my money. And he was like, "Oh, I have a friend down at the it's where they apply for like unemployment and stuff. The Georgia Department of Labor. Yeah. And he was like, you can get federally bonded. He told me to go down there and meet with him. I went down there and met with him. And they put a lot of strains for people with backgrounds as far as that. Say someone was selling drugs all their life, they never had a job. They'll create them a resume.
Right.
As you being self-employed, and then you was a supervisor. Okay, how many people are you over? Okay, so you do have your work history. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's right.
So he gave me the papers, the bonding papers, and he was like, "Whatever only thing you need to do is just go and apply to whatever job you want to apply to, and give them this paper."
Yeah, I tell people, especially the cats back in Florida, that for whatever it's worth, Georgia is slick kind of inmate friendly.
Yeah.
The post inmate or whatever we want to call it. Yeah, like they have quite a few programs. And even with me even getting my CDL, I went through the workforce program.
Okay.
Didn't have to pay for it or anything like that. And as long as I had a place to go get a job, and I have several guys that I can get a job with that own their own trucks, So this place is I don't know if it's like that in Florida. I didn't do my time in Florida, so But this is my spot since I've been out, and it's been working out pretty good as far as being able to find employment and not worrying about. I don't know about outside of Atlanta.
Right.
Metro Atlanta area, it's a lot of things going on. So, people they need people to work. There's a lot of people here, So I feel what you're saying.
Well, I went. I never had a problem going back into the medical field to get a job.
Right.
Whereas I know if I was in Florida, I'd probably still be looking for a job.
Wow.
I'd probably still be looking for a job that's worth going to.
Yeah.
The jobs that I got turned down for here was like Family Dollar,
Yeah.
like $9 jobs. and
Right,
stuff
right,
like that.
right.
Whereas this job right here finna pay me 2 or 3 times more.
Mhm.
And I got a background, and they gonna do a level 2 background check on me.
Right.
And they ain't turning me down.
Right, right.
So those are the places that I'm gonna apply to. I'm not gonna go by all means. When I first got here, it was whoever's gonna hire me. I just had to get like some income rolling. So I did work at like a Subway, and when I first got here, Party City and stuff like that. But I knew like that's just something to do because I just got here. I need some type of employment to get on my feet.
Right.
That's why I like held those type of jobs. But as after that, it's been up ever since. Hospitals, um, coming onto the acting scene where they don't do the background checks and stuff like that, but it's money.
Okay, that's a good segue. I'm glad you brought that up. What do you currently do?
Okay, so right now, what I currently do is I do the COVID testing on the productions for all of the different productions.
Right. And
Prior,
by the way, that's how we met.
yes,
I went in there taking a COVID test. She observed the Penny Pen shirt and walked outside to ask me what it was about.
Yeah.
And it was just like we just had a good vibe, a good click, and we chopped it up and been chopping it up ever since. And, so I'm glad she even observed it and was able to, took the courage because you was working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And stepped outside with me, followed me out that door, and was like, I want to talk to you. So
I was like, come outside.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you do now? You doing the COVID and what else?
The COVID testing. And as you know, I got my CDLs.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I got my CDLs. I did a little bit of the peak season at UPS. I started out with 2 of my classmates. They were fellow female CDL holders as well. They didn't stay. I did beg one of them. I was like, come back. Don't let these men
run you
off. I was like, when you get in the truck by yourself, you don't have nobody in your ear.
Right.
And I felt like at first.
But hold on, who was running them off? The trainer? Or just men in general?
I would say some of the trainers weren't qualified to be trainers, if you get my drift. And they kind of just, and they knew that we were fresh out of school. And then not only were we fresh out of school, we were women.
Right.
But you ain't gonna run me off.
Right.
Because I'm gonna get out here and do it.
Yeah.
So once you get out this truck with me, like they try to train you how they drive.
Right.
Like you can't train me how you drive. I have to, I'll take some of your pointers and get the concept of what you're telling me to do because in school we never did 45-degree turns.
Right.
But once you got out at UPS, that's all they did. We did alley dot, which is a 90-degree parallel crossover straight line, of course. So when we came straight out of school to UPS, you were doing 45s. So it was like maybe someone was overturning maybe at the first because, like I said, we didn't know how to do a 45.
Right.
But I'm going to listen to what you're saying. I'm going to take it in, and I'm going to get out here, and I'm going to practice. So I had to literally kick my trainer out my truck, and I was just like stand out there, because with you right here telling me, no, because I'm not going to listen to you.
Right.
And you're going to think that I'm doing something wrong. And then when you see me doing something, which I know what I'm doing, but it's not how you would do it, you're going to be in my ear. And then you're going to pee me off.
Yeah.
And so before I let you piss me off, just stand outside the truck and just let me do what I do.
Right.
And then when he saw that, he was like, okay, you just needed me out your truck. Yeah, I needed you out my truck. I'm glad you brought your umbrella because it's raining today.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was after that, I was on my own by like my second day, and I was gone. And they left before the week was over. And I was like, just come back. You know, when they get out the truck with you, you're going to be good,
Different
you know.
vibe.
They was like, no, because one of them, I love her. She was like, she doesn't work well up under pressure.
Right.
And she'll just stop, like, completely. But I want her to come back. But she's doing really good right now. She's driving for a flatbed company.
Oh, so she's still playing with the CDL
Yeah.
game. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, I want you to tell the people about some of the things that you've done in regards to film.
Film, I started in 2016. Because like when I was locked up, I always knew like that's something I wanted to do. Atlanta was on my bucket list anyway.
Right.
So I came here for about a year, and I got some connects and found some resources through some people. And then from there, that's one thing about me. I don't expect anyone to do anything for me. I'm gonna take in like whatever information you can give me, and then I'm gonna do my own footwork. I don't need nobody to grab me by my hand and like, hey, you need to do this, this, this. You don't have to baby me, because once you give me the tools, I'm gonna utilize those tools and get out there and do what I need to do.
Okay.
So I got some information from someone, and that's another thing. And all these people who gave me these resources, I find that we eventually they stopped talking to me because I actually went out there and utilized the resources, and made things happen.
Right.
Whereas they still doing like the same thing or not doing anything at all, or they see that I took off, now you don't want to do my makeup no more. I'm like, okay. Like all these makeup artists around here in Atlanta. Right. Okay. So now you don't want to do my makeup no more. Okay. I ain't gonna stop right there. I'm not gonna stop. Right. I'm gonna keep going. I'll just have to go pay somebody to do my makeup. You know, if you wanted money, just say that. Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, that's how I found out about like the acting and the places to go. Start out doing background. I think my first gig, I went and registered, took my pictures at Central Casting, and like the next day, I got booked for something.
Okay.
I think it was Star season 2.
Okay.
I met people on set. You never know who you're gonna run into.
True.
There's always people out there networking on set. Just because they're doing background, that don't mean that's all that they do.
Right.
A lot of engineers there, a lot of people like in the music industry do background, just a lot of people from all different backgrounds you'll find on set. You never know, it may be a director or someone that likes your look. Mm-hmm. I was just sitting down in between shots, and one of the directors came up to me, stood in front of me, pointed, and just walked away. I was like, okay. And then came back with somebody else. Another heavyweight came back and was like, she can, this right here for Queen Latifah. And I was like, okay. And so just because just because you start out like as a background artist, that doesn't mean like you can't go anywhere past that. Because you get, like I said, you can go on there with the look, or you may cough. They might like your cough, or your laugh, or something, and get picked up like that. And so many opportunities there. Where I know people now, I see on a regular that this is what they do. They're a background actor,
right,
or actress.
Right.
This is their full-time job. Mm-hmm. Every day.
Booked. And they doing numbers.
And they're doing numbers.
Yeah.
They're booked on a regular. I know these people, I know their name better than I know like the A-listers. Right. And stuff like that. When I see them, I'm taking pictures with them. Yeah. You know, they know me and I know them. So when I'm working in the PSC where they come to us at our lab, they're like, Tekeila, you know everybody. Mm-hmm. I was like, either I don't work with them on set, acting with them on a production, or I'm on a production working with that same production for 6 or 7 months So you're gonna know these people. You're gonna get to know them, whether it's the main cast, the background,
Right.
the PAs, TAs, whoever it is.
Right.
Y'all gonna build like that rapport with one another.
Okay. So what were you recently in? I just want to get to the meat. Tell them people what you were recently, you know.
Well, it actually comes out next month.
Okay.
Creed 3.
Mm-hmm.
Creed 3. That's what I'm waiting on. That's the last big thing I did.
Okay.
I still get stuff to this day to be a part of, but I want to move past the acting. I want to get and do more things behind the scenes.
Talk to them. Talk to other people.
So I did get with one of the writers from my last show called Tell Me Lies.
Okay.
We kind of got close, and she gave me some like workshops to attend and some things to do to become a writer, or if I want to like write either a book, a script, or a screenplay or whatnot. So that's what I do. That's what I've been doing. I do have some things that are untitled, based on like my life,
Right.
like things that I probably go through. I don't write every day. I have my moments where probably I may be going through something or something happened, and then I just get in my writing mode and just start writing. But I don't know what I want it to be.
So did you do that while you were incarcerated? Were you writing then?
I used to when I was in there, I used to write what happened like every day. What went on, just in a journal. What happened today.
Okay.
I wish I would have did it until I EOS or came home, but I didn't. I stopped. So you start having fun, you start meeting people, you start having parties.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
And then like all that stuff kind of go out the window. So yeah. Okay. So right now, I'm not too good to do any acting, but I feel like I've been blessed with a lot of opportunities and been a part of a lot of stuff. So I just kind of want to move past being in front of the camera right now.
So you're moving past. So what's the ambition for the future in regards to what do you plan on doing?
I would like to write something. What it is, I don't know yet. Okay. So I would like to get more involved behind the cameras, and maybe even production
or produce something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that. That's where I'm at with everything as well. Mm-hmm. It's just writing and putting it out. It mainly just is about coming up with money.
Yeah.
Because you don't even have to have anything written. Mm-hmm. You can have an idea and have the young lady, I don't know what she is, what Tell Me Lies, right? Mm-hmm. Present it to her, she may like it.
Right.
And all you do is have it in a format to where it's a pitch deck, log line, synopsis. Right. It's not even written. And she'll be like, we can put together a writing team. Right. You know what I mean? It's really that simple to kind of get it out, but it becomes maybe who you know to an extent or how much money you have to hire the people to do it yourself. Mm-hmm. Like it's just those two things. And just to let you know that you already may have somebody throw something at it and see if it can take off for you. You never know. What's your plan with the CDL? Are you gonna do anything with that CDL?
I am. I've actually I did my little thing at UPS. To be honest, no shade or anything to like the guys. But I feel like a lot of y'all male CDL holders are very intimidated by us women CDL holders.
I believe you're right, because I don't really technically consider myself a truck driver, but the truck drivers I do know they talk often about the ladies that's out there driving, and it is a slew of ladies have hit the CDL market, and they're doing pretty good.
Because my friend, the one I was in school with, who's now a flatbed CDL.
That's hard to see that lady out
Yes.
there flatbedding like that.
So she told me, she's from upstate New York too. So she gonna pop off. She gonna talk her stuff, and I love it. So she was like, yeah, it was a guy saying like, it's not for females. That's a man's job and stuff
Really?
like that. And when she told me what she told me, I was like, yes, you gotta, like, every time you gotta talk your stuff, you know? That's why I don't feel like I can go on the road because I ain't gonna show out, but I'm gonna show out. Like, I'm gonna show out because what a lot of people look at is like, especially like this is what I got, like, oh, she a girly girl. So they're not gonna expect much.
Mm-hmm.
But like people are more than just like a pretty face and stuff like that. And that's why I don't like for nobody to look at me like that. Mm-hmm. Because it's more to this, like I know how to get out here and work hard, I know how to get out here and get dirty and all of that. When I used to when I was doing the TDL thing at UPS, mm-hmm. I'm coming out here in sweats, boots, like I don't want you to help me do nothing. Right. Just make sure you don't hit that trailer.
Right.
You know? Right. But as far as like, unless it's like something like, now y'all know, y'all shouldn't be bringing trailers back here. Like it's bound for someone to hit something. Mm-hmm. Whereas like, yeah, I don't feel safe doing it. And I'm gonna let you know because 9 times out of 10, your manager or your supervisor over you, they're not even a CDL holder. So these are my license at state. This is my job at state. So one of the instructors instilled in my head is all you have to say is, I don't feel safe. And I'm going to tell you, I don't feel safe doing it.
Safety protocol.
Right.
Gotta pull it.
So, yeah, you got to get somebody else to do it. I'm going to drop this trailer right here.
So tell what's your advice for any young lady or just anyone in general? What's your advice for them? Your last minute, your last words, or whatever. Your advice to guide them in whatever they're trying to do.
I would tell anyone, especially my ladies with a background, is to never give up and to always apply yourself. You're gonna have so many people tell you no. There's gonna be so many people. So many people tell you no. Don't give up. Don't stop there. Just keep on pushing because all of those no's, you're going to get that one yes. And that one yes, it may change your life forever. And you just never know what those no's are taking you to. You know, so that no, and this was something here that I learned when I moved to Georgia, like, they was paying $7.25. So that no at that $7.25 job may be a yes at a $25 job, $30 job, or something like that. Yeah. So you need all of those no's to bring you up here because you wasn't meant for that $7, that $9, $10, $12 job. You need to be up here in a different tax bracket anyway. Okay. So I tell them just keep pushing, stay focused, stay positive. No matter what, don't go back to doing anything that got you in a situation that you were in. And just keep pushing.
That's good. Okay, well, we're going to conclude with Pen to Pen Podcast. You have anything else you want to add to the people? Tell them what you got going on, your Instagram, your Facebook, anything that you want to chop it up with them about?
My Instagram and Facebook is the same. It's the doll Vaughn, DA_DOLL. Vaughn, my last name, V as in Victor, AUGHN, and I'm also I do a little bit on TikTok here and there up under the same name. And right now I'm just focused on my cousin who's serving 2 life sentences.
Yeah.
Right now, so I try to keep him focused, you know.
I think you told me he had some content.
Yeah, he does
as well.
He does. So the next time I go and see him. See, I've been surprising him, so he didn't even know he had visited this last time I went and seen him, but he did want to leave me. He wanted to send the content with me. So I'm gonna do whatever for him. That's my cousin. I love him to death. I make sure, he good.
Right.
And I'm gonna make sure if I can, I'm gonna do whatever to help him while he in there. If he come home, that's the plan. I want to see my cousin out here.
Yeah, salute to everybody that's going to visit people and keeping people encouraged. I had my auntie and my mom and a few of my aunts and uncles.
Mm-hmm.
That was, even though I was 8 hours away from Orlando, they was coming through, and it kept me kind of grounded and everything. And hella hopeful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I salute you on that. That's a big feat to be doing. I think my cousin is coming home in a little bit himself. What else? Any other words? Talk to him.
That's about it. But like I said, don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
Come out here and get y'all CDLs as well. Females, we need more of you guys, ladies, out here. Don't let these guys intimidate you, no matter what field you do decide to go into. Just be your best. Even if it's something that you have to come out here and create. You know, everyone has an LLC nowadays. So come out here and be an entrepreneur if that's your call.
That's good, yeah.
Just don't stop. Go out and get you a trade. There's places around here that will pay for you guys. I got my CDLs through Goodwill. I went to Goodwill. They paid for it. There was no income restrictions or anything like that. They paid for it at 100%. It wasn't the easiest, but I spent my entire summer plus getting my CDLs through the Goodwill. They have other programs as well, so I'll check into your free resources that they have out here as well. Goodwill Career Center is one of them, and I do believe the Department of Labor helps people get some type of trade or something as well. And if you get any type of government assistance, I believe also they pay for you guys to get trades. I didn't know about the government assistance. I didn't get government assistance, but I just heard that they do help you get a trade.
Okay, that's what's up. Well, you know, technically you're the first lady, pen to pen.
Yeah.
You're on this joint, and I appreciate you coming, my baby.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Hey, we're gonna call it a wrap, y'all. Tekeila Vaughn. Tekeila Vaughn. Y'all go on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of that good stuff. Shout her out. Let her know this is a great interview for her. And that's it, man. Pen to Pen Podcast. Salute, y'all. Y'all take care. Bye.
Yeah.